morning. You're watching World Business Report. I'm Karthik Malhotra. All the stories from around the world when it comes to politics, economy and business. Stay tuned for the next 20 minutes or so as you get a roundup of everything that's happened across the world right here on World Business Report. Well, first up, not a business story, but a very, very important prominent story that has come all the way from the border of U.S. and Canada. A speeding car crashed in flames on the bridge linking New York State and Ontario at Niagara Falls, killing 2 people in the vehicle and sparking a security scare that closed 4 U.S. Canadian border crossings and New York's Buffalo International Airport. Take a look at this.
A vehicle exploded at the Rainbow Bridge connecting the United States and Canada at Niagara Falls on Wednesday, prompting authorities to close all 4 border crossings between Western New York and Canada. Media reports say 2 people in the vehicle were killed in the blast and 1 Border Patrol official was injured. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke to Parliament about the incident.
This is obviously a very serious situation in Niagara Falls. There was a vehicle explosion at the Rainbow Bridge crossing. I've been briefed by the NSIA and the Minister of Public Safety. CBSA, RCMP and Transport Canada are all fully engaged in providing the necessary support. There are a lot of questions and we are following up to try and get as many answers as rapidly as possible. We are in close contact with U.S. officials and will continue to work closely with them.
The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force was mobilized to investigate, according to New York Governor Kathy Hochul. Sources told Reuters early assessments indicated the explosion was likely caused by a reckless driver. Border agency officials in the United States had no immediate comment, while their Canadian counterparts did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Representatives for the U.S. State Department also did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the reported border closures.
All right, scared there on the U.S.-Canadian border at the Rainbow Bridge particularly. But a shockwave of a postponed OPEC Plus meeting has reverberated through global oil markets, sparking an abrupt and significant downturn in oil prices before they recovered a little bit from below the $80 a barrel mark. More details of the implications stemming from this unexpected delay are right here in this package.
U.S. crude oil prices dropped below $75 a barrel on Wednesday after OPEC Plus unexpectedly delayed a key meeting to discuss production cuts that was scheduled to take place on Sunday. Sources told Reuters the meeting was postponed after a disagreement emerged around current production levels of some African countries and possible cuts associated with them. OPEC Plus, which includes several of the world's oil petroleum exporting countries and allies such as Russia, said the meeting will now take place November 30th. Analysts had predicted before the delay that OPEC Plus was likely to extend or even deepen oil supply cuts into next year. Both Brent and WTI oil benchmarks have fallen for 4 straight weeks. Brent, trading at roughly $79 a barrel on Wednesday, is down from near $98 a barrel in late September, with prices pressured by demand concerns and a potential economic slowdown.
All right. Well, a lot has happened in this week. In fact, starting last week, Friday, all up till yesterday morning, India time. And I'm talking about AI. Let's track what has happened in AI. Take a look at this comprehensive roundup revealing the week's monumental tales from the forefront of the AI revolution. Yes, Sam Altman and a lot more.
From a tumultuous few days for Sam Altman to a rosy outlook from Nvidia, these were the week's big stories in AI. He was out, but not for long. Sam Altman was ousted as OpenAI chief last week, only to be brought back days later. His departure sent shockwaves through investors, staff, and major backer Microsoft. What happened still remains unclear. The startup has long juggled concerns among staff about AI's dangers and its potential for commercialization. OpenAI got a board shakeup as part of Altman's return. Former U.S. Treasury Secretary Larry Summers is one of the new directors. The changes follow anger over Altman's sacking.
The future of AI will never be boring.
Understanding AI founder Chris Winfield says the pace of the week's events was bewildering.
Think about what happened over a news cycle of a weekend would have, in the past been like 6 months, So yeah, it's gonna just keep going as fast as we've seen, and it's fun.
Nvidia keeps beating forecasts. The AI chip champion again exceeded expectations on earnings and lifted its outlook above Wall Street predictions. But it warned it expects a steep drop in sales in China in the coming quarter due to vastly expanded U.S. export controls on what the company can sell there. Chinese search giant Baidu isn't too worried about that, though. It says it's stockpiled enough AI chips to tide it over for a couple of years, but it's also seeking out alternatives as it develops its chatbot dubbed Ernie. And Zoom says it's getting a boost from AI. The video conferencing platform says over 200,000 accounts have enabled its new artificial intelligence companion. It can provide features such as meeting summaries.
All right, it's moving from what can AI do to perhaps what can't AI do. Well, let's move on of the impact that AI has not just on our lives, but from that to the impact it has had on the markets. And it's not just AI that is playing the markets amidst holiday anticipation. Wall Street concludes on a buoyant note, propelled by a surge of hope tied to promising shifts in interest rates after the FOMC meetings got released. Take a look.
U.S. stocks ended higher on Wednesday, going into the Thanksgiving holiday with a boost, as all three major indexes were on pace for their best month of the year. The Dow added 0.5%, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ each added more than 0.4%.
I think it's certainly too soon to tell whether we've entered a new bull market.
Adam Reinert, Chief Investment Officer and Chief Operating Officer at Marshall Financial Group, says that while stocks have risen sharply in recent weeks on optimism the Federal Reserve is done raising interest rates, investors will shift their focus to how those rate hikes are affecting the consumer.
Ultimately, it seems like the market may be transitioning from a market that was focused on the Federal Reserve and the path of monetary policy to one focused on the consumer. We received some jobs data today. It came in a little better than the market had expected. But as we transition from that Fed market to the consumer market going forward, that could really dictate the path of the market and the path of the economy as well.
Among the day's movers, Nvidia's shares fell 2.5% after the chip designer warned that U.S. export curbs could lead to a steep drop in sales in China. And shares of farm equipment maker Deere dropped more than 3% after forecasting 2024 profit below analysts' estimates. The stock market will be closed for Thanksgiving on Thursday and close early on Friday.
All right, ballooning expectations there from Thanksgiving and the Black Friday. But behold, the awe-inspiring preparation for Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. As we're talking about ballooning, right? As colossal building-sized balloons come to vibrant life. Take a look.
Nvidia keeps beating Wall Street forecasts. The US chipmaker has been one of the big winners from the AI boom. Its semiconductors dominate the market for the new artificial intelligence services. On Tuesday, the firm again lifted its outlook. Nvidia now forecasts current quarter revenue of around $20 billion. That is well ahead of analyst forecasts. Revenue for the third quarter also came in around $2 billion higher than expected. US controls on the export of cutting-edge chips to China are now the company's big worry. Nvidia expects a steep drop in fourth quarter sales to the country as a result. It has developed lower-powered chips that get around the restrictions. But industry experts say that takes away vital research resources, and the products could just end up on the banned list anyway. Nvidia stock is up around 240% so far this year, but slipped a little in US after-hours trade following the China warning. Tuesday also saw earnings from HP. The computer maker missed forecasts for the fourth quarter, but stuck to its annual earnings outlook. HP said it would launch AI-driven computers in the second half of next year.
All right, there's larger than life and then there is that much larger than life. But well, let's stick to Black Friday. Amid the holiday rush, eager shoppers have stormed stores for the jumpstart on Black Friday deals. Retail outlets witnessed a surge in activity as bargain hunters aim to snag early discounts and offers ahead of the traditional shopping extravaganza. Let's see.
Especially with kids, it all seems like the same. Every year it gets a little bit more expensive, but other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Betty, look. Do you like any of these? Betty. No, we don't like any.
I came in here for Starbucks, that was it. But then we ended up back here in the toy aisle. So here we are. It means a lot to them because they get to get more for about the same amount as we would throughout the rest of the year. So it's like it's a win-win for them. Yeah. So I definitely feel like it means a lot to them.
Awesome. Okay, we ready?
right, a shopping bonanza there in the US, and that's exactly what the UK also needs. And in a bid to sort of rescue and revive a lackluster economy, UK's Finance Minister Hunt unveils strategic tax cuts.
Britain will cut taxes for workers and give businesses more incentives to invest. That was the message from Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt as he unveiled a new budget on Wednesday.
We have taken difficult decisions to put our economy back on track. We've supported families with rising bills, cut borrowing and halved inflation. Rather than a recession, the economy has grown. Rather than falling as predicted, real incomes have risen. Our plan for the British economy is working, but the work is not done.
Hunt announced a bigger than expected cut in social security contributions, as well as big rises in welfare payments and the state pension. The government also said it would cut the rate of contributions to the National Insurance Social Security system for employees by 2 percentage points. Hunt claimed measures in his plan would raise business investment by $25 billion a year within a decade, or nearly 1% of GDP. But in the short term at least, Britain's economy moves slowly. Gross domestic product is expected to grow by 0.7% next year, much weaker than the expansion of 1.8% forecast by officials in March. Britain's economy has struggled with the highest inflation rate among its rich country peers, although the pace of price growth has slowed from more than 11% just over a year ago to 4.6% in October. Hunt and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will hope Wednesday's budget gives a boost to both the economy and their electoral chances, where polls show the ruling Conservatives trailing the opposition Labour Party ahead of an expected election next year.
Okay, UK there desperately trying to bring demand back and also incentivize industry using tax measures. But Sony faces a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit over claims that the PlayStation maker abused its dominant position, leading to unfair prices for customers. Let's take a look at what are the games at play at Sony.
Sony faces a mass lawsuit worth up to $7.9 billion over its PlayStation Store practices. The ruling was made at a London tribunal. Let's take a closer look. Sony Interactive Entertainment was sued in 2022 on behalf of 9 million people in the UK. They'd all bought digital games or add-on content through Sony's PlayStation Store. The lawsuit accuses Sony of abusing its dominant market position. It says the company required digital games and add-ons to be bought and sold only via the PlayStation Store. And this store charges a 30% commission to developers and publishers. The claim alleges customers have, therefore, paid higher prices for content than they would have done. Sony has fought back though. The Japanese firm's lawyers argue the case is flawed and should be thrown out. But the London Tribunal gave the go-ahead for a lawsuit brought by consumer advocate Alex Neil. Sony did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
All right, well, a big lawsuit there for Sony PlayStation as it tries hard to defend itself from predatory pricing. Well, Disney enchants Hong Kong as World of Frozen debuts, offering a magical experience to fans of the beloved Elsa, Anna, Olaf franchise in a new and really enchanting setting. Take a look.
Welcome to the Kingdom of Arendelle.
The Frozen franchise will turn 10 years old in just a couple of days, I believe. And Hong Kong Disneyland is the first place that it's coming to life as boldly and ambitiously as you're all seeing around us today. That makes me very, very proud. I hope it makes the people of Hong Kong very proud. I know that our fans are going to love this.
Well, I'm from Los Angeles. I flew out here for the opening of Arendelle because to me this is like the most important thing I could possibly come to. Like, it's 10 years celebrating Frozen, and the last 10 years have been like amazing because the story of Frozen has changed my life.
Well, the musical Frozen out there at Disneyland, Hong Kong. And staying with music, the stars shine bright at the first ever Latin Grammy Awards. And this is the first time that these are held outside the US, making or rather marking a significant moment in the music industry. Take a look.
Latin Grammy? What is Latin Grammy? From Latin people of the Latin countries, we are Latinos. How wonderful that Spain has succeeded in this, that it is Seville, that we love Seville. And then the next year, it might be Buenos Aires, in Mexico City, in Bogota, in Caracas, in Lima.
Well, those of us from around here are very proud that the Latin Grammys are being held here. We are freaking out. We are super happy. I think we have a very important and very special culture to make people and artists from other countries discover, and I think they are also enjoying it very much.
Seville is the birthplace of flamenco. Imagine representing what you have inside you and that people like it and are enjoying it. I'm very proud.
Well, moving out from Seville in Spain, well, in Slovenia, the Krampus Parade, as it's called, spooks locals as Christmas devils take to the streets in a unique and chilling tradition.
Še bojemo seveda na velikem ekranu, najmanj skupine I, začenjajo, da so narejene ročno, tovarjajo tega. Vse maske so izdelane ročno, in se lahko reče na vročo kožo. Pride otroke obdarujejo, poredne pa, vidite pa šast, te velikopačev izpod koncle, a starejši maski so stare tega. Starodavne Škofjeloke. Hudobni duhovi obstajajo od leta 2015, vendar pa je tradicija. Torej, prva zasedba, sicer pa lahko letos spremljate tudi na velikem ekranu.
Well, that's all we have on World Business Report today, but don't go anywhere because news and updates continue right here on News 9 Live, and I'll see you tomorrow with another edition of World Business Report tomorrow. Till then, thanks for watching. Goodbye.